Hello, so I'm going to show you a quick demonstration on how to create the paper cutout effect using Adobe Illustrator. So the first thing I'm going to do is open up a new document and File New. I'm going to keep I have it right now in inches. I like to use inches. Tabloid size I like to work in, and landscape orientation view. And we opened up a nice tabloid size image to work area to work on, and we're gonna set up our workspace real quick. So to do that, you open up Window, Color, because we're going to use the color mixer, and then also we're gonna, what else are we going to use? Maybe our layers. You could open up swatches. It gives you like swatches to pick from if you want to see different colors. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a rectangle. So I'm going to use the rectangle shape box, and then I'm going to take off the stroke. So what I have now is if I draw a box, it's going to have a white inside fill, and then the outside is black, a black stroke outline, right? I want to take that off. So you can actually do it on a shape. You could deselect, and now it's not there anymore. And then I'm going to just make a new color. Let's make a gray, right? Okay. And you could resize your box. I have my direct selection tool selected, so you can move it around, resize it, and then if you want to deselect it, you just select off, anywhere off the objects. You can also use, this is space you can use too. This is printable area, but you can also use this space if you need it. Okay, so I wanted to make a gray box so I can see what I'm doing. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a organic shape. So I'm going to I like to use my pencil tool, and it's right here in the toolbar, and if I double click on it, it gives you different options to choose from. I'm going to make sure my fill new pencil strokes option is clicked on, and then this kind of gives you more accurate or less accurate. Right here is less accurate, this is more accurate, gives you more fidelity in how you draw. So I'm going to hit OK, I'm going to keep that low. And then maybe I'll make a bunch of blue colors. So let me start with a cyan. See, here's my color mixer. I'm going to drop the cyan back about maybe 10%. And I'm going to start just in the middle and draw an organic shape. You can pretty much draw any shape that you want or any design that you like. And I'm going to zoom in so you could see what I did there. So this basically, I crossed these two paths, and I don't really want that. That's not good. So I'm going to use my pencil tool and kind of go back over, and it should join those paths together. There's a couple of options you can do here. You can draw more shapes freehand, or sometimes what I like to do is I'll select this, go to Object, Path, and Offset Path, and it makes basically a perfect contour offset path of what you just drew. You can do that too if you want. I have mine 0.2 inches, so it goes out 0.2 inches. You could set that if you want differently, maybe 0.15. See how that changes it? And what it does is it draws a new one for you. So you hit OK. So now you have two, right? 1, 2. And when you select the inner one we started with, the outer one's a new one. I'm going to make the color a little darker in there. So if you select it, you could actually change the color, right? There we go. So I'm going to deselect off of here, zoom in a little more, and maybe I'll select this, and I'm going to hold down Shift and deselect, right? If you click it, it selects. If you click it, it deselects. have to hold down shift to do that. I'm going to make a new, even darker, a little bit darker blue. And for this one, I'm just going to exaggerate a contour around. No, it just doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm just going to make sure that is correct there. All right, so actually this is on top of the other colors. They're still there. This one's just on top. So if I deleted it, you'll see they're still there. I'm just gonna, just to show you. Now I'm gonna draw another one. Let's do it again. This one comes out a little more. And I'm just gonna stop there. So, oh, I see something here that I don't like, so I'm gonna fix this. I'm gonna select that and make sure these paths get joined together. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do something pretty cool. I'm going to open up my Pathfinder. So basically my Pathfinder is, I use these tools the most. This is divide, this is unite. So it does kind of what it says. If you put two shapes that are touching each other, it'll unite them together as one. This one will divide everything up. I'm going to use the divide one. It's almost like a cookie cutter. It's going to use each shape to cut into each other. So I'm going to use my direct selection tool and drag a selection box over everything. So you could see everything is selected. These lines and points mean everything is selected. I'm going to hit my divide. And what I did was I cut. Everything's cut now. Each one of these is its own separate shape. So, and also it groups it together. So I'm going to go to Object, Ungroup, so they're not grouped anymore. So if I selected the middle one and deleted it, it's gone. Right? There's no shape there. Let me reset my colors. So for the bottom one, I wanted to make a light cyan, right? And I'm not going to use this window anymore. I could just close it. And this one, a little darker. Let's go with a little bit lighter with this one. I'm going to make a nice little gradient. This one a little darker. This one even maybe a little lighter. Okay, so this is a good contrast there. So now we're going to apply drop shadows, and to do that you're going to have to select. I'm going to select all of the inside shapes. So I don't want this selected. To do that, I could select the whole thing. If I hold down Shift and click it, it'll only select the inside. And what I'm going to do is zoom in a little bit, and I'm going to go to Effect in my window, Stylized Drop Shadow. And this will give me kind of settings I could use to create a drop shadow. So my color I'm going to have as black. Multiply means that it's going to be a transparent color, and the opacity's dropped back a little bit so it's not too black. And I'm going to hit preview just to see what I have here. So basically what I have is a drop shadow on the outside of my images. You can adjust your offset, right, to make it either out more, in more, negative. You could move it on this side, over there. What happens if we do negative? I just want to see. And negative 0.5. See, it moved it over here. So you could play around with these to see where you want your drop shadows to be. I'm going to keep it at just regular. And then you could see if you want to adjust your blur. See, that makes it a lot too blurry, too soft. So I want to make it. I'm going to make it 0.4 to make it a lot. Whoops. 0.4 to make it a little sharper. Give it a second to progress here. Oh, something went wrong here. It was 0.04. There we go. Give it 1 second. There we go. That's what I want, 0.04. See, it's a nice sharp, slightly blurred. So once I'm happy with this, I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to deselect, and what happens is I have something that looks more like a topographical map. It's coming forward, right? This gives it a forward effect, but I want it to go inward. So really, in order to do that, we need to push these shapes back. So what happens in Illustrator is you have, even though you have layer options, everything is in a layer. It's like in a cell frame. So this top one is actually in the front. This background gray is in the back, and these are kind of in between, like sandwiched in between. So what I want to do is I want to move everything back. I'm going to start with the outer one. Select the outer one. I'm going to go to Object, Arrange, Send to Back. Right? I'm going to go in to the next one right here. Make sure this one's selected. Object, Arrange, Send to Back. And then I'm going to I got to zoom in a little bit to select it. It's not allowing me. There we go. Zoom out. Object, Arrange, Send to Back. And then the last one, Object, Arrange, Send to Back. See what that did? It reversed the order of my shapes, and it reversed the drop shadow. So now it looks like it's going in, and the more layers you add, the deeper it's going to look. And after you get this far, you can add graphics, add things inside, add things outside to create any kind of landscape or effect that you would like to do. But this is pretty much how you do a paper cutout effect in Adobe Illustrator. There's another video, if you'd like to watch, that shows the similar using photop.com in case you don't have access to Illustrator and you want to try it in that program as well.